In the heart of bustling Lagos, Cora, a desperate young mother, clutches her sick baby, Kyla, and begs a stranger, the enigmatic billionaire Mr. Silas, for scraps in a lively restaurant. What begins as a humble plea for leftovers sparks an extraordinary chain of events that will leave you speechless. Who is this mysterious Silas, haunted by his own tragic past? And how does one fleeting moment of compassion transform Cora and Kyla's lives forever? Dive into this gripping tale of kindness, hope, and second chances that proves a single act can change everything. Cora, a young mother without a home or food, cradled her ailing infant, Kyla, in her arms. One night, with no other options, she entered a restaurant and pleaded with a stranger, Mr. Silas, for his uneaten food. However, the actions of this reserved billionaire that followed left her utterly astonished. Who is Silas truly? And how did a single fleeting moment transform the lives of Cora and her child? Settle in as we explore this compelling tale. On a balmy evening in Lekki, Lagos, the Royal Greens restaurant buzzed with life. Patrons sat at their tables, chatting, laughing, and savoring their meals. The atmosphere brimmed with joy. Waiters moved briskly, delivering dishes and drinks. In a secluded corner, Mr. Silas sat alone. A middle-aged real estate tycoon, wealthy and influential, he was steeped in sorrow. Before him sat a plate of fried rice and chicken alongside a chilled glass of juice. As Silas nibbled at his meal, his thoughts wandered far from the restaurant, lost in memories of the past. He murmured softly to himself, 2 years have passed, 2 years without you, without our boy. His hand tightened around his glass as he sank into recollections. Where are you now? Do you still think of me? Opposite him was an empty chair, meant for someone dear, someone he had lost years ago in a tragic event. Silas gazed at the vacant seat, his mind filled with thoughts of his wife and young son. His heart ached with grief. I recall our day at the mall together, his tiny hands, their smiles. If only I could have them back, even for a moment. His grip on the glass tightened, his meal cooling, but he was indifferent. All that mattered was the love he had lost, a love he could never reclaim. Silas whispered faintly, someday, I'll see you again. Until that day, you'll live in my heart forever. Just as Silas raised his glass to drink, a gentle voice broke his reverie. Excuse me, sir. Could I have your leftovers for my baby, please? He turned slowly and saw a young woman in a tattered, worn dress, clutching a small infant to her chest. The baby's large, soulful eyes fixed on the fried rice on Silas's plate. The restaurant grew quiet. Nearby diners stopped their conversations, their attention shifting to the woman and her child. Some murmured softly, curious about what would unfold. Silas's heart raced. He gripped his glass tighter, weighing his choice. Who is she? Why is she begging for food? What kind of life does she lead? A deep, unfamiliar feeling stirred within him. Pausing, he studied her face, seeing only genuine humility and a mother's urgent need to feed her starving child. He gently pushed his plate toward her. Take the food, madam, he said. She whispered softly, thank you so much. Her trembling hands opened a small plastic bag, carefully transferring the food into it, as if it were a precious treasure for her and her baby, then secured it tightly. Silas watched them, pondering, who are they? Where are they from? How can I assist without undermining their dignity? He fell silent, unaware that this moment marked the beginning of a profound change in his life, one he would always remember. The woman murmured, thank you. May God bless you, sir. She turned and slowly walked toward the restaurant's exit, holding her baby close and the food securely in the plastic bag. Silas's gaze followed her, his heart beating faster. Without a second thought, he rose quietly and trailed her. He kept his distance to avoid frightening her. As he followed her down a quiet side street, away from the city's bustling roads, he whispered to himself, where is she headed? What kind of existence does she share with her child? Why is no one helping her? He rounded a corner, tracking her along a narrow path, staying in the shadows, silent. His heart pounded, uncertain of what he would witness. Then he saw something heart-wrenching. The woman approached a crumbling building, its walls barely standing. Beside it was an abandoned, rusted coaster bus, its seats missing and some windows shattered. Yet, that bus was their shelter, their home, a refuge where she protected her baby from rain and cold nights. Silas whispered to himself, "Is this really their home, inside a bus in such a place?" He remained hidden, silent, his mind in turmoil. Should I step forward and help, or will that complicate things? How can I ease their pain without alarming them? Silas stood watching, deliberating his next move. He didn't want to frighten or alienate them. He avoided being too forward, fearing it might make her suspect his intentions. He needed time to find a sensitive way to help without adding to their burdens. Each morning, before Cora and her baby Kyla woke, a kind gesture occurred. A small package appeared near the bus's entrance, containing baby formula, diapers, food, and warm blankets. Cora would find it upon waking, tears streaming down her face in gratitude and joy. One morning, something new accompanied the package. Inside, Cora discovered a slip of paper with a phone number and a brief note. "Call me if you ever need help." Cora clutched the paper to her heart. Later that day, she walked the streets, baby in arms, asking passersby, "Please, I need to call someone, but I don't have a phone. Can I borrow yours for a moment?" A kind woman agreed. "Of course, use mine." Cora dialed the number. It rang repeatedly, but no one answered. She tried again, to no avail. Sighing softly, she returned the phone, saying, "Thank you." She headed back, wondering about the anonymous benefactor who cared for her, a kind stranger without a face. Silas sat alone in his office, the sun having set unnoticed. Papers lay on his desk, but his gaze was distant. Leaning back, he sighed deeply, his thoughts returning to the woman and her child. "It's been over a week since I learned where they stay," he murmured, "in that old bus, without light or safety, with that baby in her arms." A painful memory struck him. Closing his eyes, he saw his late wife and son. "What if they were in that situation?" he whispered. "Wouldn't I want someone to help them?" Looking toward the window, his voice grew resolute. "I must act quickly," he said. "No more delays." He pressed the intercom button. "Give me Mr. Johnson," he instructed. "I need to see him now." Mr. Johnson, head of the home staging team responsible for furnishing apartments, arrived shortly. "Come in," Silas said. Johnson entered, curious. "Good evening, sir." "Evening, Johnson. Take a seat." Johnson sat quietly. Silas said, "I need a new apartment prepared, fully furnished with everything a woman and baby need. Bed, stove, baby supplies, everything." "Understood." Johnson nodded. "Yes, sir. Who is it for?" Silas paused. "It's for someone unaware of my help. She's in dire straits, living in an abandoned bus with her baby. I want her to have a safe home." Johnson's eyes widened. "I understand, sir. I'll handle it." "One more thing," Silas added. "If she refuses, perhaps out of fear, at least I'll know I tried." Johnson stood. "I'll get it done immediately, sir. You can rely on me." Silas nodded, turning back to the window, his heart heavy but determined. That night, rain drenched Lecky. Inside the bus, Cora noticed Kyla crying faintly. Touching her, she felt intense heat. Kyla was burning up. In a panic, Cora wrapped her in a cloth, secured her to her chest, and ran into the rain, desperate to reach a hospital. Soaked and trembling, she arrived at St. Thomas General Hospital and rushed to the front desk. "Please," she pleaded, "my baby has a high fever. Help us." A nurse asked, "Do you have a deposit or payment?" Cora shook her head. "No, but please help her first. I'll find a way to pay later." The nurse looked sympathetic. "I'm sorry, madam. Hospital rules require payment first." Cora fell to her knees, clutching Kyla. "Please, I can't lose her." Spotting a phone on the nurse's desk, she asked, "Can I use your phone for an emergency call?" The nurse replied, "There's no airtime for calls, but you can send a message." Cora nodded. "Yes, please." She retrieved the now damp paper with the number, still legible, and typed, "Please help us. My child is very sick. We are at St. Thomas General Hospital." She sent it, returned the phone, and sat quietly in the reception. area. Outside, the rain poured heavily. Inside, Cora held Kyla, who shivered, praying the stranger would see her message in time. At that moment, in a calm part of Lecky, Silas lay in bed, lights off, ready to sleep. The soft rain pattered outside. His phone vibrated on the nightstand. He grabbed it, seeing a message from an unknown number. Opening it, he read, "Please help us. My child is very sick. We are at St. Thomas General Hospital." His heart raced. "It's her," he said, "the woman from the bus." He leapt up, dressed quickly, grabbed his keys, and rushed out into the rain. Driving through the downpour, he reached St. Thomas General Hospital in minutes. Running into the reception, he scanned the room and spotted Cora on a bench, clutching her baby, tears in her eyes. "Madam," he called. She looked up, stunned. Silas approached, seeing Kyla breathing rapidly in her arms. He turned to the nurses. "Get a doctor now," he said firmly. "This baby needs help immediately." The nurses sprang into action. A doctor arrived, taking Kyla from Cora, who followed, still crying. Soon, Kyla was in a hospital bed, receiving drips and medicine. Treatment began. Cora turned to Silas, overcome with emotion, and knelt. "Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You're a blessing from God. I don't know what I'd have done without you." Silas gently lifted her. "Please, don't kneel," he said softly. He stayed, ensuring Kyla's care, asked the doctor questions, and paid the bills in the doctor's office. Returning to Cora's side, he asked, "Madam, what's your name?" Cora, eyes red from crying, stood and said, "I'm Cora, sir. Thank you so much. I don't know you, but I'll never forget this night. You saved my baby's life." Silas smiled gently. "I'm Silas," he said calmly. "No need to thank me. I did what anyone should." Tears streamed down Cora's face. "God bless you, sir. May you never lack anything good." Silas nodded. "I'll check on you tomorrow. Your baby will be okay." He left, leaving Cora hopeful. She sat by Kyla's bed, holding her hand as the machines beeped softly, Kyla's breathing steadying. Cora whispered, smiling, "Help has come, my child. Help has come." The next morning, Silas rose early, preparing for work. Before leaving, he called his regular restaurant. "Good morning. Please prepare 2 hot breakfast portions. I'll send someone to collect them." An hour later, the food arrived at his office. Silas took it, drove to St. Thomas General Hospital, and entered Kyla's room. He saw Kyla sleeping peacefully, a drip in her tiny hand, her breathing stable. Relieved, he looked at Cora, her eyes red and swollen from a sleepless night. He stepped forward quietly. "Good morning," he said. Cora, surprised, replied softly, "Good morning, sir." "I brought breakfast," Silas said, handing her a warm bag. Cora took it, hands trembling slightly. "Thank you so much. You need strength," Silas said. "Your baby needs you strong." She nodded, opening the food, its aroma bringing her a moment of calm. Silas stayed briefly, then visited the doctor's office. Returning with a small smile, he said, "The doctor says your baby is fine now. She responded well to treatment and will be discharged by 5 p.m. Cora's face brightened. "Thank God. Thank you, sir. You've done so much." Silas pulled out some cash, placing it beside her. "For anything else you need," he said. Cora stared at the money, then at him, tears in her eyes. "Sir, I don't know what to say. God bless you." Silas smiled softly. "Care for your child. I'll visit again soon." He left, leaving a mother filled with hope and a baby now safe. 30 minutes after returning to his office, Silas was reading documents when a knock came. "Come in," he said. Mr. Johnson, the homestaging team leader, entered with a file. "Good afternoon, sir," he greeted. Silas nodded. "Any updates, Johnson?" Johnson smiled. "Yes, sir. The apartment you requested is ready, furnished as you specified." Silas nodded. "Good work." Johnson placed the file on the desk. "Keys and papers are inside, sir." Silas tapped the desk, silent for a moment. "Thank you, Johnson," he said. "I'll handle it from here." Johnson smiled. "All right, sir," and left. Silas opened the file, reviewing the apartment photos, everything pristine and serene. At 5:15 p.m., as the doctor promised, Kyla was discharged. Cora carried her, wrapped in a soft blanket, tired but grateful, heading toward the hospital exit. A nurse called, "Excuse me, madam." Cora turned. "Yes. Someone's waiting for you at reception," the nurse said kindly. Cora's expression shifted. "Someone? I'm not expecting anyone." The nurse smiled. "I was just asked to tell you." Cora walked to the reception, heart racing, thinking, if it was Mr. Silas, wouldn't he have come? To the room, she asked the receptionist, "I was told someone's waiting for me." The receptionist pointed to a man in a neat suit, calm and respectful. He stood and asked, "Are you Miss Cora?" Cora nodded, holding Kyla tighter. "Yes." He smiled lightly. "Good evening, Ma. I'm David. My boss sent me to pick you up." "Pick me up?" Cora asked, confused. "To where? Who's your boss?" "Mr. Silas," he replied. Cora relaxed, exhaling deeply. "Oh, okay," David said. "He wants to show you something. You're safe with me." Cora glanced at Kyla, then nodded. "All right, let's go." She followed him, hoping for something positive, though unsure. They drove for about 25 minutes, Cora in the back, holding Kyla, staring out the window. They entered a tranquil estate with uniform cream and brown buildings, peaceful and serene. Cora's heart raced. "Where are we going? What is this place?" The car stopped before a house. David opened Cora's door. "Please, follow me," he said politely. Cora stepped out, Kyla in her arms. The grounds were clean, flowers vibrant. David unlocked the door, and they entered. Cora froze in the living room, eyes scanning the soft white chairs, glass table, bright curtains, and large wall clock. A kitchen stood across, stocked with plates, cups, and baby food. The air smelled of lemon and soap, like a scene from a film. Clean, bright, beautiful. David smiled, offering her the key. "My boss said, this apartment is yours now." Cora blinked, motionless, speechless, clutching Kyla. Her body weakened. She looked at the key, the man, the room, and tears fell silently, dripping onto the tiled floor. Her voice caught, chest heavy with emotion, knees trembling. Finally, she whispered, "Please take me to him." The car stopped before a tall glass building, its sign reading Silas Realty Holdings. Cora's heart leapt. Ignoring the driver, she jumped out, Kyla in her arms, and ran to the entrance. Security guards froze, surprised, but didn't stop her, recognizing her from their boss's car. She burst through the glass doors into a quiet office, staff at their computers. Unfazed, she shouted, "Where is he? Please." All eyes turned. The secretary approached, but David, following, raised a hand. "It's okay," he said. "Show her to the boss's office." The secretary pointed to a door down the hall. Cora ran, pushed it open, and saw Silas at his desk with papers. Before he could speak, she knelt, tears streaming. "Thank you, sir, thank you," she sobbed. "God bless you. You saved my child, gave us a home. I can't thank you enough." Silas rose, gently lifting her. "Please, don't cry," he said softly. "What's the use of wealth if I can't help someone?" He looked into her eyes. "We enter and leave this world with nothing. What matters is how many we help." Cora wiped her tears, trembling. Silas added, "A man may own many houses but sleeps in one room. No matter how rich, you eat one plate at a time." Cora gave a shaky laugh through her tears. Silas smiled. "Is the kitchen stocked?" Cora nodded. "Yes, sir, everything, even baby items." "Good," Silas said. "I'll visit later and want to hear your story, but rest now." "Thank you," Cora whispered. "I'll never forget this." Silas watched her leave with her child, a woman given a new beginning. One quiet Saturday morning, sunlight filtered through the apartment's curtains. Cora knelt by the couch, tickling Kyla, who giggled, kicking her legs joyfully. Cora smiled, seeing her baby so happy, warm, and full of life for the first time in ages. A soft knock came at the door. Curious, she opened it to find Mr. Silas, dressed simply, holding a gift bag. "Good morning," he said with a calm smile. Surprised, Cora stepped aside. "Good morning, sir. Come in." "Thank you," he said, entering. Looking around, he smiled. "You've made this place a true home." Cora nodded. "I try. Thank you for everything." Silas approached Kyla, who looked up at him. He bent down, waved, and said, "Hello, princess." Kyla blinked and smiled. He handed Cora the bag. Some toys, clothes, and fruit for her. "Thank you, sir," Cora said softly. They sat, and after a quiet moment, Silas asked gently, "Cora, may I ask something?" She nodded. "How did you and your baby end up in that bus?" Cora looked at her hands, silent briefly. Silas added, "If you're not ready, it's okay, no pressure." She shook her head quickly. "No, I'm ready. There's nothing to hide." Looking at Kyla, then Silas, she whispered, "It's a long story." "I'm here," Silas said gently. "Take your time." Cora began. "I was with a young man I met in school." Silas listened attentively. "We were together for 4 years," she said, "but his mother never approved of me, no matter what I did." She looked down. 6 months after graduation, his uncle sent him abroad. 2 nights before he left, we were together for the first time. Her voice softened. "Kyla came from that night." Silas listened closely. "I didn't know I was pregnant until a month after he left. I tried contacting him, even went to his mother's house, but she drove me away, yelling at me to never return." Cora shook her head. "I had no phone, so he couldn't reach me. I'd have needed his new number to call from my mom's phone." She took a deep breath. "When my mother learned I was pregnant, it crushed her. She raised me alone, struggling to pay for my schooling. My father left her pregnant, and she never saw him again. Seeing me pregnant without a husband felt like her story repeating." Cora wiped a tear. She was angry, hurt, said I'd wasted her efforts, and told me to leave. Silas listened, eyes fixed on her. "I stayed with a friend, did small jobs, but at 8 months pregnant, I couldn't continue. My friend couldn't pay rent and left town, so I ended up in that bus." Cora held Kyla's hand. "I hope to find work after Kyla turned 1. That was my only plan." Silas leaned back. "I'm so sorry," he said softly. "You've endured so much." He paused, then said, "You made a mistake, but we all do. Everyone deserves another chance." Cora nodded, eyes teary. Silas tilted his head. "You're a graduate, you said?" "Yes," Cora replied. "Business administration." "Good," Silas smiled. "You won't need a job hunt. When you're ready, there's a place for you at my company." Cora gasped, covering her mouth. "Really, sir?" Silas nodded. "Until then, I'll provide monthly support. You won't struggle again." Tears fell from Cora's eyes. "Thank you, sir. You've given my life purpose." Silas stood, walking to the window. "We'll also plan to visit your mother," he said. "She's your mother, Kyla's grandmother. I believe she still loves you. She just needs time." Cora nodded. "I hope so. We'll try to find that man's number too," Silas added. "He should know he has a daughter." Cora looked at him, overwhelmed. "Thank you, Mr. Silas, so much. I never thought I'd find help again." Silas looked at Kyla. "You and she are not alone anymore." Thus began a new chapter for Cora, filled with hope and support. One bright Saturday, Cora stood by her apartment window in a simple, elegant gown, feeling at peace. A month after moving in, she was ready to see her mother. At 8 a.m., Silas knocked softly. Cora opened the door, holding Kyla. Silas smiled. "Ready?" Cora nodded. "Yes, sir, thank you." "Let's go," Silas said gently. They drove from the estate, the journey lasting over 2 hours to a quiet village. Cora recognized the road, her heart racing. They pulled into a small compound with an old house. A woman in her early 60s swept the yard, dropping her broom in surprise as the car arrived. Cora stepped out, holding Kyla. The woman gasped, "Cora." Cora smiled, "Mama." Her mother rushed to her, crying, "My child, I'm so sorry. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what I was doing." Tears streamed down her face. "I searched everywhere for you, but you were gone. I've had no peace since you left." Cora's voice trembled. "It's okay, Mama. Your anger wasn't wrong. I let you down." Her mother wiped her face. "Is this my grandchild?" she asked, looking at Kyla. "Yes," Cora said. "Her name's Kyla." "Oh my God." Her mother wept, holding Kyla gently. "She's beautiful, just like you as a baby." Seeing Silas step out, her face brightened. "Who's the fine man with you?" she asked, smiling. Silas greeted respectfully. "Good afternoon, Ma." "Good afternoon, my son." God bless you. Cora smiled. Mama, I'll explain later. They sat outside, talking and laughing before leaving. Silas walked with Cora's mother. Mama, consider moving to the city, he said. Cora and Kyla need you. You can be together in a better place. She smiled warmly. Thank you, my son. I'll come after arranging things. I miss my daughter too much. Silas nodded. We'll be waiting. Months later, Cora had transformed, smiling freely. She dressed smartly each morning, her hair neat, her face radiant with hope, working a good job at Silas's company with a company car. Her mother, now at peace, cared for Kyla at home, often singing to her on the balcony. One evening, while slicing tomatoes, Cora's phone rang. It was a message from Kyla's father, who learned of his child through his mother after Cora's return. He took responsibility, sending monthly support for Kyla. It wasn't much, but it mattered, showing another cared. Cora smiled, set the phone down, and resumed cooking. Glancing at her mother playing with Kyla, tears of joy filled her eyes. She whispered, "Thank you, God, for this second chance for Silas and for saving my baby." This story shows how one small act of kindness can transform a life. Silas gave Cora more than food. Gave her hope, a home, and a new start. Once lost, Cora found her way through someone's care. The lesson: help if you can. Kindness doesn't require wealth. A little help goes far. What did you take from this story? Share in the comments. I'd love to know. Another moving story is coming soon, so subscribe and turn on notifications to catch it first. If you like this, please like and share with friends. Thank you for watching. God bless, and see you next time.